Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be showing off gameplay of the new Magikeys ritual archetype. And I've got two different builds for you guys. First one is via Eduardo Cog over here. And this one's going to be a Drytron build. And I think that this one would be more considered in the meta department. So let me actually explain what the heck the deck does really quick. The main core concept of what this deck will do, because right now it's more of a splashed in archetype than like running a pure one. It's supposed to kind of support like vanilla monsters, and some of them will require it for specifically the fusions, which basically no one really makes over here. It requires a non-token normal monster plus a Magikeys effect monster, or this one just requires another Magikeys monster. But for the most part, they're not really utilized. They're not even really that great at all. One of them has the effect of changing something to defense position and making go minus 1000 defense. Not even a quick effect, by the way. If it did, it would be a little bit better, and it would need to like negate the effects of the card. Like, it's just way outclassed. The main thing that you do with the deck right now is you make P.O Saber. P.O Saber lets you go ahead and add one Magikeys card. The one Magikeys card that you add can be unsealing if you don't have like another like follow-up play. Or if you maybe already have unlock, but you just go for unlock. What does unlock do? It negates a spell or trap, and then you can declare an attribute, and then all of your opponent's monsters become that attribute, which can actually kind of help out for some of the other things in the deck, but that's a small effect. That's the basic core idea of why people even utilize it right now. But with Drytrons, heck, it's just another negate spell or trap, which is definitely nice, as there's not too much spell and trap negation, I would say, in YuGiOh that's like super free to go ahead and add. Usually just Omni negates that people make, but you'll see that we have unlock over here, and obviously Red Eye's Fusion is going to be utilized to go for Red Eye's Dark Dragoon, because it's not hit on the ban list. We also got 8 Beals, so you guys can see kind of what the deck can make. As the card over here, the Magikeys Blaster P.O Saber, he's actually a tuner as well. He's a machine, a ritual tuner that's also a dark. Like, a lot of just weird stuff all over the board, but they actually do rely off of attributes. That's the thing that I'll show you guys in the next duel over here, which actually will be making the other ritual monster that you can go for in the deck. But in this instance over here, well, the guy kind of womboed him, and it's just too many negates. He had this, he had the key over there, and that was a negate spell trap, and then on top of that he's got access to Dragoon, which that's a pretty good card too. And at this point it's just kind of just styling him, going for more plays, and it'll be GG very, very soon. And so with Unsealing, which is the field spell card, I'll mention what the heck this does. So this lets you add a Magikeys monster from your deck to your hand, and then the first time each non-token monster would be destroyed by battle by card effect, it's not destroyed. It's a small effect, but the other effect I actually really like a lot. It's during your main phase, you get to add one Magikeys Maftia, which is the card that you can use for a ritual, or you can go for the fusion, but again, fusions are not really great that as of right now. So you get to add that card, and then you get to put one card from your hand to the bottom of the deck. So a lot of times you'll put back the cards that you don't need, which can actually open up the doors for certain archetypes that don't want to draw specific cards. It just makes it more consistent for your deck, right? Anything that would be normally minus. But here we have what I would consider more of like a pure build. Now this one's also going to show off Garsvet. Garsvet is the other ritual that we currently have for the archetype. So this one's going to make Rescue Rabbit, because you actually do have vanilla support in the deck. But again, playing vanillas in Yu-Gi-Oh, it's rough in 2021. But at least with this card, you get to recycle a card. Now this is the card Maftia, which lets you go ahead and fusion, or you go for ritual. Again, no one really goes for fusions right now. People play it in the extra deck, but I'll show you their full effects in a second. You're gonna laugh, but like, maybe they'll be good later, okay? But anyways, the important thing with this card over here is if you control a normal monster, you can also send a normal monster from your deck to the graveyard as fusion material from one of the monsters required for the ritual summon. So that's actually really good. So that's why you would actually benefit off of the vanillas. And on top of that, the Garsvet, now we're going to see him bring out basically, we have 2 negates right here. So this adds this, so unlock. But you still also have to control the ritual monster to get the negation over here. So he has to stop Signet Kodak. That card, if it goes off, you lose. But he has another one. And, well, he's going to go try to stop that one. And the guy's like, well, it's okay. I got another one. It was really unfortunate because he got rid of that one. He stole the other one, and it's unlucky, let's be honest here. But at the end of the day, we're here to see Garsvet, the other ritual monster here. So this one lets you ritual summon it with Maftia, but it gains attack equal to the number of different attributes in your graveyard times 300. You can only use each of the following effects of it once per turn, but when your opponent activates the effect of a monster with the same attribute as in your graveyard, while you control this ritual summoned using 2 or more monsters with different attributes. You get to negate the activation and destroy that card as a quick effect. So this is the other form of negation that you do happen to have with the archetype. And then, you know, it gets a stat boost. It's only 2,000 in the attack department, but pretty much it's always going to be at least 26 unless you like somehow really like, you know, have an unlucky, you know, set of circumstances. But yeah, it has like okay-ish attack, but again, the problem is that the whole archetype, if you just play like a pure plus vanillas, I think it's a little bit rough. Even to go against lesser top tier decks, it's just not going to have a good time. But I think that if you mix it in with Drytrons, which are already very powerful, it could be okay. But again, at the end of the day, you still basically can realistically set up 2 negates with the deck, and that's if you have to have like the right set of cards. Like Drytrons will just add a lot more consistency to everything. But this is by Playboy Geico over here, so shout out to his build. And I'll show you guys both the different builds, and you guys can kind of see, you know, different ideas, maybe if you guys want to run the deck. So this one over here is the first one. I think the Drytron one would be one that I would recommend to you guys if you guys want to kind of try out the deck and see where it goes. Now, I did mention the fusions. They don't really use the fusion. No one uses the fusions for the most part. The dragon's not that bad. Let me go to the dragon's effect first. So with the dragon over here, it requires a Magikey effect monster and a non-token normal monster, but when it's fusion summoned, your opponent can't activate cards or effects. Then once per turn, you get to target a normal monster or Magikey monster in your graveyard and destroy all monsters your opponent controls with the same attribute as that monster. Then once per turn, if an opponent's monster or monsters with the same attribute in your graveyard is destroyed by a battle or by card effect, and you control this fusion summoned using monsters with 2 or more different attribute as materials, you get to draw 1 card. So unfortunately, it does have that effect where you do pop everything, but doesn't negate the effects. And I think you need negate plus pop to be, again, more relevant in Yu-Gi-Oh, which, you know, the Garzbat does do, but again, the whole archetype doesn't have enough. Now, the other card I think is really weak, but anyways, the other fusion over here is a level 4. It is the Magikeys Summon Beast over here, and he requires a Magikey monster and a non-token normal. And if it's fusion summon, you get to add a Magikey Maftia from your graveyard to your hand, and then can use each effect of Magikey Summon Beast once per turn. Once per turn, you get to target 1 opponent's attack position monster with the same attribute as a normal monster or Magikey monster in your graveyard. You change it to defense position and it loses at 1,000 defense, and that's it. And then also it banishes monster destroyed by battle with this card. So it lets you maybe, if this was a quick effect, it'd be much better. It doesn't even negate the effect. So you have to go to an opponent's monster, target it, that has to be in attack position, and it has to also beat the same attribute requires of a normal or a Magikey monster in your graveyard, and then it has to go to defense position, which Link monster is not too bad, and then you can maybe run over it. Like, I just think it's too weak. Like, the stats maybe had like 4,000 attack or something, but again, it needs to have that as a quick effect to be what I would consider relevant in the game. And if you're wondering, how do you go for the fusions? Well, the Maftia lets you go for the fusion, or you can go for the ritual, but again, no one really goes for the fusions right now. There is another card called Connected Magikey, which actually is okay as well. This is kind of like a surprise I going to ritual now, and let's let you target a normal or Magikey in your graveyard and add it to your hand. Then you get to apply one of these effects. So you get a fusion summon a Magikey fusion monster from your extra deck in defense position using monsters from your hand or field as material. Unfortunately, it's only defense position in both of the effects, or if you want to go for the ritual, it's also in defense mode by attributing monsters from your hand or field. So you can ritual or fusion. So it's kind of cool that you can do either, but again, the problem is once the monster comes out, it does not have that like instant effect. It's not a quick effect. That's the problem that the archetype has, but this card, this one is the quick effect, but at that point, it's not really like you're not using rituals and fusions like the archetype would like you to believe. At least that's how I feel. Anyways, let's go ahead and hop into the deck profiles for both of these and go over some stuff. So anyways, yeah, obviously you got the Dark Magician Red Eyes for, of course, Dark Dragoon. Then we got 2 copies of Alexander Dragon, 3 copies of Clavis, which is the vanilla. Then we got Flammable Guard, 3 copies of Manju, 1 copy of Delta, 1 copy of Gamma, 3 copies of Zeta, 3 copies of Alpha, 1 copy of the Drytron Dra. And then we got 2 copies of Garzvet, 1 copy of Benton, and then we got 3 copies of Beto Saber. Again, that's the card that everyone goes for. And then we got Red Eyes Fusion, Terraform, Drytron Nova, 3 copies of Maftia, 1 copy of Meteorist Drytron. This is also a newer card to refine ritual art. It lets you ritual from the deck, but the monster goes away during your opponent's end phase. So what you do, like you saw in the combo, you would just utilize the ability of this card to add, and then you link it off and you make another one if you want to. That's the point of refined ritual art. But most of the time, if you can get this card to survive, it's just for the extra negate at the end of the day. But you just link it off if you need to. But remember, with this card, you do have to control one, so then you go for ritual later. Then the unsealing, we already run over. This is the field spell, and then this one we already run over, which is the surprise. I'm going to go for ritual or fusion, but don't make the fusions because they're not very good. So, we got Dragoon, we got the Dragon Fusion, we got 2 copies of the Beast Fusion, then we've got Beals, we've got the Paladin Dectron, Librarian, then the Drytron Mu Beta, Fafnir, and then we've got the Access Code Talker, Unicorn, Phoenix, Predator Plant, Link Spider, because, you know, there technically is vanillas here, so it can kind of help out. And then for the other build that you guys did see, we've got the Cyframe, then we've got 2 copies of Megalo Smasher, 2 copies of Clavis, 2 copies of the Talismandra. This one's running Rabbit. I see you definitely playing 3 Rabbits. I mean, you go right into just a instant 1 negate for the deck, but I think the ritual follow-up needs to be more than just like this. But anyways, we've got the 2 copies of Candle, we got the Predator Plant engine over here, and so it's going to be 3 Scorpio, 1 Cobra, and then we've got 3 copies of Pensaplume, and then 3 copies of Gamma, then Garzvet, Chalice Slime, 2 of those, and 3 copies of Beto Saber. We've got the Instant Fusion, Terraforming, 3 copies of Prep, and then we've got 2 copies of Maftia, 1 copy of Inception, then we got Called, 3 copies of Unsealing, and then 1 copy of Unlock, and then it's 1 copy of the Dragon, 2 copies of the Beast, but no one really makes them. I'd say Dragon's not that bad though, but Beast definitely needs a rework, or something else will probably support it a little bit later. And it's also a tuner, so hopefully we'll get a synchro for the archetype, as yeah, there's the other card happens to be a tuner too, but they just don't have a synchro. We have Dragai, Omega, Bahamut Shark, Tornado, Emerald, Dweller, Awesome, we got Boral Sword, and then we got Appaloosa, then we got Lambda, then we got Cross Sheep, and of course Link Spider to round it off. But anyways, that is the new Magikeys archetype. You guys can let me know what your thoughts are on it down below. But thanks for tuning in, and if you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. If you guys are new here, you want to see more gameplay, maybe when they get some extra support, and you're new, hit subscribe, turn the bell, and you'll definitely see more very soon. But take care, and I'll catch you guys in the next video, and I'm signing out. Peace.